My name is Joanne Lettieri, and I came to be a part of hospice and Hunterdon Healthcare through my mom, Joan Petrillo. I was her daughter and caregiver. Somewhere in the middle stage of Alzheimer's, my mom's geriatric doctor recommended a day program for Mom where she would have lunch and be with others that also have Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. Brightside are a group of women that, they're my heroes. Every day they're in the trenches with the families, and the name is just perfect. When hospice came into my home, they brought light, they brought love, they brought compassion and support. I knew it was for my mom, but it actually strengthened me. There are so many ways that hospice helped me, from volunteers dropping off medicines to the hospice nurse Sharon, who brought so much expertise and love, and she met every need that my mom had. And how she does this every day for many people, I don't know, but she was born to do the work she's doing. Janet came to my home, met my mom, and then took my son and myself in the living room just to hear our hearts, what we were feeling, and then told me some of the programs that hospice has, which included a bereavement course if I was open to it. And through Janet, my mom and myself were visited by the chaplain. He prayed with Mom, made her smile. It was a wonderful experience. Hospice gave me the gift of time with my mom. Got to hold her hand. I put face cream on her to make her feel pretty and comb her hair. And in that last moment, I got to hold and kiss my mom and know that she was safe forevermore, no more suffering. Hunterdon Hospice is like no other hospice. Everything was taken care of. The only way to describe it is like the troops came, the cavalry, and just brought me everything I need. I cannot think of a more valuable gift to give an organization than a donation like to hospice. Having hospice behind me and to encourage me meant everything.
My name is Sarah Prawl, and my mom, Sally, needed hospice care.
My name is Robert Fulper. I met my wife on a double-blind date, and we were married 64 years in October, and wonderful life.
Mom had Alzheimer's, and so this would probably be close to her 7th year where she took a turn for the worse.
I guess the hardest part was when Sally was getting lost. Well, we made sure she stayed home.
Keeping Mom at home was the best thing. She was with Dad, which is number one, actually. That's the best thing. Dad could see her every morning, wake up, go down, give her a good morning kiss, and start the day. Whenever hospice came in, the caregivers, they always had a big smile for Mom and for Dad, or anybody who was there. Always had good ideas, you could always talk to Maureen and the caregivers that came out. Just the way they took care of Mom and gave her dignity. You could just tell by the way they cared for Mom that they loved her. I know she loved it because she'd smile at them. Hospice also has a volunteer program, and that was so wonderful. We had a steady volunteer every Friday. Hospice just gave us a breather, or be able to spend time with Mom without having to do the care. We might sing around her bed.
She loved my singing. I think I sang to her on the first date.
And at the end of her life, she got to hear Dad. We were gathered around her bed, and a CD that my dad had made with the Lord's Prayer on it was playing.
As I finished singing the Lord's Prayer and said amen, that's when it happened.
And she just took a last breath, and we just looked up to heaven and said thank you. When you have a loved one who has an illness, and even if you don't want to think about the end, about dying, is such a benefit to at least find out about hospice. If someone's thinking about donating for hospice, I'd say do it and do it often. The most important thing through all that hospice does is the listening, the caring, just helping you with that part of your life.
My full name is John Richard Brady, but I go by the name of Rick. When my sister was ill and she was in the hospital, then they talked about palliative care, but then they also mentioned hospice. And I was not aware of hospice at all. They explained it. The experience we had with hospice, it was wonderful. The care that she did need was wonderful. There's nothing better than hospice. When my wife got to the point, I knew about hospice, so I came down and I talked to Margaret Doyle. As soon as she was accepted for hospice, immediately, within an hour, there was a hospital bed up on the second floor in a spare bedroom. Oxygen came, some other things, medical supplies. But within 2 or 3 hours, they had everything set up with nurses scheduled to come and go. And the nurses were available 24 hours a day. One of my daughters, she was there every day. My daughters got to know the nurses personally. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, takes its toll. Besides the physical things that they supplied and everything else, but mentally, my whole attitude changed. The load off the shoulders was taken. To me, hospice is everything, and that's why I joined up to be a volunteer. If someone is interested in becoming a volunteer for hospice, I would absolutely tell that person or advise that person that yes, you should. My first contribution to hospice was directly to Margaret Doyle, and it was also to support the hospice education. They need it. It's a very, very high dollar concept that's required to maintain the quality of nursing, and the nurses have to be trained and sent out for education, and that doesn't come easy. It doesn't come free. It's the education of the person that's treating the patient. With the nursing, to me, that's heart and soul. Nursing is a wonderful profession. So I think anybody that wants to donate money, it's the best thing they could ever do.